What's up, everybody? My name is Snappi, and you're listening to the Zen Disc Golf Podcast.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Zen Disc Golf Podcast, Season 3, lucky number 13. I am your host, Patrick McCormick, author of Zen and the Art of Disc Golf, Discs in Zen, and Disc Golf Strategies and Tactics. You know, from the moment that I decided to bring the show back to life, I promised you that I'd be talking to all sorts of people related to the disc golf world. Not just pros, but manufacturers, inventors, disc golf nonprofits, brands, clothing designers. Shout out to Dark Ace for my new Play Disc Golf, Listen to Metal hoodie. But other people out there on the peripheral edge of this great sport. In Discs and Zen, I talked about there was probably 1,000 ways we can grow this sport, but in reality, there's probably as many ways as the people out there playing. And today's guest is no exception. He's about as unique gets, and he's determined to help grow the sport of disc golf in his own way through rap music. So this episode, I'm talking to Snappi, a handlebar mustache-wearing rapper who's made disc golf such a part of his life that references to disking often end up in his songs. So before we get to know Snappi, let's check out a clip from his video for his newest song, Here We Go.
What's good? It's Snappi in the building. Concealing feelings through my penmanship. Every drop super thrilling, cause I know I'm about to pop off. Pack up and take off. Handlebar superstar, shining like a quasar. 2-car garage, both V8. One's a boat, one's a race car. Vroom, vroom. See you later. Catch me on the coast, eating lobster off a platinum plate. Just a matter of time before I'm on the radar. Everybody living good, doing what we should. Here we go. Here we go. If you come up in my crib, acting hella weird, gotta go. Gotta go. She's been really into me, she'll turn into an enemy. Seems to be my energy. Life has been so finicky. I've been acting differently. Blame it on the industry.
What's up, everybody? I have Snappi on the show, and this is going to be a unique show, everybody. This is the first time, and probably the last, unless you come on again, that I'll have a disc golf rapper on the show. I mean, I guess it could happen again because this could open up the gate of all the disc golf rappers trying to get on the show. How are you, Snappi?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Fantastic. And I just wanted to read my listeners the email that you sent me asking to be on the show. When I put out a request, I said, is there anybody that you might want to hear on the show? Is there anybody I need to talk to? And you went through the website. You said, I'm pursuing a career in rap and have been playing disc golf for 11 years. I like to throw disc golf references in some of my songs. I'd love to talk about disc golf, how it raised me, how I ended up pursuing a music career as a rapper, and some of my plans for the year. And then in another email, you said, I had a lot of fun throwing the references into my music, and I'm attempting to have mainstream appeal with past the sport. One of my overall objectives is to grow the sport through the rap scene. And that's why you're on the show. I wrote back and said, I love it. Let's do it.
I really appreciate that. Yeah, disc golf raised me for sure. 9th grade, summer going into 9th grade is when I started playing. So I used to literally do it constantly. I would skip school, and ashamed to say, to even go play. But with that, playing so much, it guided me. It helped me understand what was important in my life and everything. It's been really
awesome.
Nice.
And I definitely want to delve into that, but we have to talk about the mustache first.
Yeah.
We got to get that elephant out of the room, because I know the people watching the YouTube are they not going to talk about it? We've gone on for 10 minutes and we haven't talking about the mustache.
It's the topic of discussion when I go out. It's wild. It's crazy. So whenever I used to sell cars and I kept a clean face for that. Whenever I left, I just decided to grow out my facial hair, and I didn't know it blossomed into this big of a mustache, but I'm so thankful for it, and it's been really convenient to help incorporate that into my music as a marketing move. And
for those just listening in and not watching the YouTube, Snappi has a huge handlebar mustache. So the dude plays disc golf, raps with disc golf references, and has a huge handlebar mustache. If that doesn't bring the people listening in their cars to the YouTube, I really hope it does. So let's talk about disc golf, man. How'd you get into disc golf, first of all?
I grew up near a course. Well, I moved a lot when I was young, but by the time I started to have interest, I lived right down the street from a course. So we drove by it often. I saw the baskets. I told my dad that I was interested, and turned out one of his childhood best friends was an active player. So I was out there a week later and obsessed, playing my first doubles event 2 weeks later.
Wow, that's cool, man. So talk about how disc golf raised you. I mean, you started going into it just a little bit, but let's go a little bit deeper into you started learning about life from disc golf. That's kind of what you were saying, right? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, I for sure. Disc golf didn't have a lot of people my age playing when I was in high school. So I was playing with a lot of people that, are adults that have seen the world and everything. And they all kind of took me under their wing, every single one of them. So with that, I'm real thankful. I've learned a lot of lessons about confidence, about, where you want to put your actions, stuff like that. I'm still learning every day. There's still a lot to learn. I'm definitely just a beginning student, but like, it's amazing what all I've learned from the disc golf course about the sport and about myself.
And I can definitely see the confidence, first of all, in your mustache, but also when you're getting up on stage and you're rapping has to be the most confident style of music. You're not hiding behind a band or a wall of guitars or, drums. It's like you and a microphone and a DJ.
Yeah, it was really nerve-wracking my first time up on stage. Because when I was younger, my first job, I was serving. My first table, I whispered to the table. I was so scared. So to come from that to be a performing artist is totally a shocker to me. But like at the same time, it's absolutely what I've always wanted to do, and just kind of coming down, like embracing my inner, like, what is the exact, like, what do I want to do with my life? And that's where it's led me to this.
So you say you've dropped some references to disc golf in your music. Can you give us just like a hint of what you've done with that?
Yeah. So far, the only song that's out with it is real vague. It's my song Ride With Me. I say you can find me in my Cadillac on bluegrass going too fast. Discs in the trunk, a quarter tank of gas.
You can find me in my Cadillac on bluegrass going too fast. Discs in the trunk, a quarter tank of gas. Open.
Talking about like discs, like my disc golf bag, because I grew up on Bluegrass Road. So it's me like in my Cadillac. That's also really important to me for other reasons, that car specifically, but symbolic moment for me, that like being on Bluegrass in the Cadillac, my disc golf bag. And then another moment would be songs that I've got coming out. I say, catch me whipping a Wraith, the La Mirada bang chains. So talking about, manifesting myself, putting myself in LA and driving in a Rolls Royce Wraith to La Mirada to play disc golf.
Nice.
The disc golf. Thank you. I'm stoked about those lyrics because I love disc golf. It's genuinely like how you see people like Jack Harlow and Lil Baby playing basketball right now. I'm going to be on the disc golf course, and it's an obsession of mine. I'm totally in love. Those are the two that come to mind, but I can guarantee there's going to be plenty more later, and there's probably more that just aren't coming to my mind at the moment.
Well, I see you blending, both of your passions on your Instagram. About every other image is either you on a stage rapping or your videos. And then you throwing bombs off tee pads.
Yeah, because I figure I don't want to use my social media just like a marketing platform. I try to use it as like truly my social media, but it's also where I share everything. So incorporating, my passion with disc golf, being able to sometimes throw my music in the background, it helps with promoting, but it also helps just showing the love of everything. It's nice that I can embrace my passions together like that. Pretty fun.
Absolutely. And it really is interesting how often music does come up on the podcast, because music is, well, for most people, it's a big part of their life. But, when I think about other sports and relating and tying music in as well as we're able to tie it into disc golf. I mean, I've talked to Scott Stokely about hardcore music. I mean, punk and hardcore music. I've talked to Greg Barsby about metal. I've talked to George Fiorini about metal. And now I get to talk hip hop, because a lot of people don't know I got a little bit of hip hop in my past, mainly as a producer. So I'm going to ask you first about your beats. Are you producing beats, or how do you go about that for your music?
So currently I do not produce any of the beats that I've worked with so far. I'm working on learning like how to make beats and everything. I'm learning the piano first, and then I've got a MIDI, and I'm trying to like understand how to incorporate that into making a full song. I've made some, but they're just not something I want to put out. But Devin, that dude, awesome producer that's local to Knoxville. And I've been lucky enough to work with him quite a bit and plan to a lot more in the future. We've got
Nice. His name is Devin, that dude.
Devin, that dude. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. In the early, well, I guess it was late 90s, I got a job in a recording studio because I was able to make websites. Now, I was making music at the time, and that's all I wanted to do. I was already making industrial music. I think I was like 15 years old. And I got a job there because I was able to make websites for the clients. Now, the neighborhood that this recording studio was in a more hip hop oriented neighborhood and just kind of, suburban city on the East Coast. And I ended up meeting a lot of underground rappers, but started working with them and doing some of the engineering with them as the lead engineer began taking me under his wing. I really did a lot. I think I worked for $5.15 an hour, and that was about it back in those days. But the thing is I had the keys to the recording studio. So when we shut down at whenever the last session was done, me and my buddies would come in and we just stay in the recording studio all night and, produce stuff. So I got to produce beats. I got to track some rappers. One of the rappers was on Ice-T's label. This was so long ago, I can't remember who it was. I do know one of them's name was Big Kev. He was one of the biggest ones out of there, but I know most people probably wouldn't know who that is. But anyway, so I did have a short stint in hip hop back in the late 90s. I would say that's around 98. And then a little bit later in about 2014, I fell into it again, producing beats, like trap beats, for just an array of people who were just underground rappers, just basically selling them because I was able to. And I like rap music. I've always liked it. I was listening to Outkast today. I listened to Little Wu-Tang. Let's see what else. How else was I preparing? Big DMX fan. But what are some of your influences? I hear a little Eminem in there.
Oh yeah, Eminem was definitely the first rapper I think I ever listened to or remember listening to. I listened to a lot of him, a lot of Kanye, Young M.A, Jack Harlow, Prof, just a little assortment of, I guess, everything. There's not any music that I don't like I listen to every rap subgenre, but those are definitely my go-tos right now.
Nice. And when you tell me about your writing process, when you get down to write words, write lyrics.
Mm-hmm. So Devin, he sends me beats all the time. So I'll go through the beats, see which one I'm really feeling at the moment. And I'll just start writing from the beginning of the beat to the end. I'll throw that beat and I'll start it over just constantly. It's kind of
throw it on a loop.
Yeah. If you don't love it, then you're not going to have fun doing it. Cause I hear that beat 1,000 times before the song's done. So yeah, I just go through and write. And sometimes it'll take me 45 minutes to an hour to write a song. Sometimes I'll put it off and just write parts and it'll take me a couple weeks. Just depends on the vibe of the song, how, what I'm putting into it, stuff like that.
Right on. And so you take this on the road, you're playing shows and stuff too.
I'm doing my best. Yeah. Any opportunity I get, I'm sprinting for. Right now I've gotten to perform a decent bit locally and at a couple, festivals within the region, travel to Virginia and stuff. Yeah. This year I'm currently planning to travel to Maypop in Nashville. That'll be in June. It's going to be a really good time. And then I've got 2 more festivals that I know of, ran by Nocturnal Entertainment later on in the year, like September and October. Those are going to be really fun as well.
So let's go back to disc golf. How are we bringing disc golf into the rap scene?
What I'm trying to do is bring more of the rap scene into disc golf.
Oh, I love it.
I think disc golfers, there's a lot, there's a variety. Everyone plays disc golf. There's a variety of everyone. So, there's already disc golfers that like rap music. My job for that is just get myself in front of them. But the other side of things is everyone else that I get in front of, because I love disc golf. I'm going to keep pushing it just naturally through my stuff because I can. And yeah, just my goal is to bring people that maybe haven't been shown disc golf yet, just kind of just push, make it natural on them, push it in through the music.
You need to put a disc catcher, a basket on a stage when you're rapping. Turn it into your microphone stand.
That would be fun. The first festival I ever performed at, when I pulled up, there was a basket out front, and I knew I was at the right place.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And as soon as I'm really on tour, I'm gonna have a basket everywhere I go.
There was a basket sitting outside of a venue.
Yeah. Yeah. It was at a farm. It was a festival, and there was one of the people working there, actually a buddy of mine. He brought his basket.
So when's the record dropping or mixtape?
I don't have any plans for an album or mixtape necessarily at the moment. My release strategy, I'm doing music videos this year and just singles. I'm going to be releasing I try to do a single a month. It's not perfect. Sometimes it's a month and a half. Sometimes it's 3 weeks. But trying to this year release everything with a video. I've got another video that should be out in about 2.5 weeks. I just shot it yesterday.
Wow.
One of the shots is actually in this spot. I'm eating a bowl of cereal in this spot for the video.
That's
so
awesome.
Appreciate it. I'm pretty stoked. So it'll be, about 2.5 weeks for my next song. And then, about a month for the next one after that. And you can count on it after that. And after that, I've got a vault full, and I continue to add to it.
Well, that's a unique strategy. I love it. I've never heard of any. I'm sure that happens a lot more now than it used to, but that's got to be an expensive strategy though.
It can be. I'm really thankful and blessed. I've got a couple buddies that people I've became friends with involved in the different parts. Like DevanThatDude works with me on the beats. We collaborate on them. I've been working with Joe with the shot. I've been talking to him a lot and getting to know him. He's not far away, and he's the one that's shooting my videos. So we're becoming friends, and I'm trying to talk to him about trying to help out some and learn some ins and outs of that, so I can network and also just understand more about the industry. But thankfully, because the connection we've built, he's worked with me on the price and everything, and helping everything come into tuition, and just a lot of budgeting.
Yeah. Well, the industry has changed so much. When I was coming up, in my young teens, when I was working at recording studios and stuff, and I had a couple independent labels, independent labeling was a struggle unless something just popped, with your independent label. Like you just got an artist that just went viral. I mean, we didn't have that term back in the day, but it was definitely a struggle. If you weren't one of those big 5 record labels that were out there, you were nothing. But now in music, you can break out if your material is good enough and your social media presence is good enough, and you're on those stages enough, you can break out. Now it's more like the doors are wide open. However, the industry, it's like, what is the industry? Because we're streaming. We don't have people don't need the physical product anymore. And it's like, what are you selling? You're selling, it used to be back in the day, you were selling albums. Now you're selling a brand. So the mustache is a good way to go, because that's your brand. But I'm just saying, you start selling like you sell the show, and you sell the goods that go along with the show, and people are already streaming your stuff for free.
It's nice because, I use DistroKid, so I can send it out to all the different platforms and all that. And then, social media presence, just all about like, how can I stay entertaining and relevant? And right now it's a matter of becoming relevant, but, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram. I'm not on Twitter. That's the one thing I really need to get on the ball with that. I've
been terrible about that too. I just gave up on Twitter.
Yeah, that's one thing where I'm like, I'm convinced that maybe one day I'll have a manager that can run my Twitter. I still want to be on the other social medias, but to get on all of them,
Somebody watching this needs to write down below and give me a reason I should be on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I'll think about it.
It's
because
tough.
Instagram is the way to go these days. I just feel like if you're not a celebrity, Twitter's dying.
I've never understood, I guess it never caught my attention in the first place as a consumer to want to post anything.
What other ways are you growing this Snappi brand, other than just making the music videos and the DistroKid?
A bunch of ways. So currently I am in the process of getting some merch that'll help build up some funds for traveling, but it would also help have people with my brand on them for that. Word of mouth. The performing's like the big focus for me. I email a lot of people, just constantly trying to put myself in front of people, kind of in an obsessive way. I use Twitch a lot, where I go on there and I have people review my music.
I've never heard of Twitch. What is Twitch?
Twitch, so it's like live streaming. You can go on there and chat with people. And I don't go on there with a camera, but I'll just go on and I'll be in the chat. And I enjoy chatting with people and everything on there. Plus, if you know, as long as you've got some patience, you can have someone listen to your song for free with like 20 to 40 listeners. So just a little bit of networking, especially during the coronavirus. It was really helpful to find that as a way to continue talking to people.
Has Corona really changed the way that you're approaching music, or changed the way that you were doing it? I mean, how long have you been doing this, your rap music?
So I started rapping in 7th grade, but I began.
Oh, wow. It's been a while.
Yeah. It was definitely, I mean, I've listened to rap literally as long as I can remember. But pursuing it, I guess, like officially for probably about 2 years. You know, that probably a 2-year mark is when I made that decision that I'm going to be a rapper.
So back in about 2019?
Mm-hmm, yeah. Pretty much right before the corona, like maybe 6 months before, you know, I was doing like open mics and stuff. But right about the corona time is when I had started meeting some people to where I've been able to do shows. And so, yeah, the time frame was a little off. I was not able to do shows right away, but I made these connections. And now that things are starting to be like understood on how we can approach this, there's been venues that we've been able to manage to have some small, you know, shows at and stuff like that. And the festivals were all very appropriate. People had masks on and close up. And then it was actually like tents out on the hills. So when I was performing my first time, no one knew who I was. There was no crowd, but I was performing out to everyone on the mountain, and they were all me. But it's just been interesting to change.
I was going to ask you about the adjustment, but I guess since you'd only been doing, you know, live stuff for a little while, I don't know, maybe that was a good thing. I don't know, because you would be one of the premier artists that came up during the COVID-19 and are having to be creative in how you go about things. I think the music video thing is excellent. I think that's a great idea.
It's a lot of fun to shoot, and I think it'll help a lot. I know my fans will enjoy some visuals with it, so it's gonna make it better for the audience, and also gives me more to do. You know?
I love that. I love how that one video starts with the female with your mustache on it.
That was was she the one with the pink hair? I can't
Possibly.
Yeah, my girlfriend, she was in it. That was actually her.
You have multiple females with your mustache.
There were in the video. There was my manager's wife. Future Joy, which is Emily, and Emily from Future Joy, and then my girlfriend and my girlfriend's friend. Yeah, shout out to all of them. Shout out to everyone that came out to that video. I really appreciate all of them. You know what?
I honestly went to Five Below today to see if I could find a fake mustache to wear during the show. I didn't find any.
Find one? Oh man.
No, not one that would even remotely compete with your big handlebar mustache. No.
Well, I appreciate you trying. I went to for my mustaches.
Do what?
I went to Party City for mine. for the ones in the video. This one.
Oh, not for the one on your face.
It's a discount on Amazon. Anytime someone asks me if it's fake, that's where I go with it.
Nice. So I understand that you have an old book of mine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, it's the book, but I mean, it's dated. It's one of the first editions.
Yeah, November 2014.
Look at that. Signed. What's the date on it?
November 13th, 2014.
Dude, I've seen, so that's, it should say first edition in there somewhere. And I've actually, believe it or not, seen those selling for $70 without a signature on Amazon. I don't want everybody to go sell your books now. Don't go and sell your books. That doesn't mean it sold for 70. That just means I saw somebody have it up there for $70. I'm like, dang. Well,
I mean, I can see it. It's a really good book. I'm reading through it my second time right now, but I love everything it's had to say in it. It's so true. It's a walk in the park. I really love disc golf for the fact of blue skies, you know, pretty trees, and simple. You know what I mean? Just throwing a frisbee in the woods.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. When you showed that to me before the show, I was like, holy cow, he's got one from 2014. That's awesome.
I was now, so tell you, but I didn't want to email it. I want to tell you.
Yeah. So What's interesting now is that if you look in my books, so that was the first edition. That's the one that's it's got all the spelling errors in it, and people, it makes it valuable apparently. But so that one says first edition, but now all of my books have flight ratings. I've been meaning to share this, but I just haven't had a good reason yet, so that people will understand the flight ratings of the book. So this is Zen and the Art of Disc Golf, and the flight ratings on this book are speed 1, glide 0, turn 0, fade 3.
Oh, that's hilarious. So
You
that's
test it?
flight ratings of the book itself. How'd it fly?
Oh, it's true. It's true.
Nice.
It did hit the ceiling fan though. So the reason I went with that is because Amazon started having a cow that every time I updated the book, that it wasn't a new volume. And so I had to find a way to number all of my editions and not call them new editions, because they weren't, all brand new editions. They were just, corrections and things like that. So on that one, I said that was Speed 1. That was the first book I released. Glide 0, because a book is not going to glide.
Yeah.
Turn 0, I don't know, but fade 3, that would be the third edition. So if you're looking at your book, any of them, except for this one, I don't think I've done this. Maybe I did do it on this one, but all of my books have speed ratings, flight ratings.
Awesome.
So let me know if they're not true. Take them out of the course, throw them around. Let me know.
Yeah. I'm going to have to do that.
Well, yours doesn't have a flight rating because it's just
right, yeah, so. Yeah,
it's not going anywhere.
Keep this one looking good then.
I wouldn't recommend throwing it. It's got a signature on it.
I'd rather just keep it in my library. It looks great there.
That's awesome, man. Is there anything else you want to talk about? You want to talk about your festivals that are coming up?
Yeah. I'm really excited. Maypop, I don't know too much about it. I haven't been there before, but it looks like a lot of fun. Really eager to go out to Nashville and perform there. The Nocturnal Entertainment ones, they're also a really good time. They had it in not too far off the corner of Tennessee in Virginia. Yeah, they're going to be a good time for sure.
Are they outdoor festivals?
They are. Yeah, they're the ones in Virginia were at a farm. I don't know if it's going to be at the same location or not.
Right on. So that whole COVID thing kind of goes out the window.
Yeah, hopefully. You can never predict the future, and definitely last year showed us that. But given circumstances and everything, if everything goes right,
So it's come up on so many podcasts, just the struggle of COVID and musicians.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. But I don't know. It's just opened up my head for ideas. Just different ways of trying to find different ways of marketing.
Yeah, I mean, it essentially, I think it hurts so much because, like I was talking about earlier, when music went from having a physical product, from records to CDs to tapes, and then it went to basically illegal downloads before going streaming. Musicians were struggling then, and then they realized, well, the way I make money is playing live. So then what do? We take that away from them, say you can't play live and you can't sell anything. So it's just kind of like, man, I identify and I understand the struggle. I was talking about it with Barsby, how low the streaming royalty is on because my streams actually picked up a little bit after that. So I made about 20 cents after that episode dropped. Got me a check for 20 cents.
Man. Yeah, I think it's like half a cent per stream or something.
Yeah, I want to say it was 0.03 cents a stream through iTunes. Spotify, I think, pays a little bit more, but it's not much more. It's industry standard.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah. So you've got to figure out, and so if you're coming up musically in this day and age, you've got to have that open mind, like you said, and build that brand. Yeah. Unless you're going to be on a reality show.
No, not in the foreseeable future.
I don't know. I think you'd be pretty good on a reality show. You've got the gimmick. You've got the, why not?
I'm open to opportunity. something like that ever comes up.
Who was it that had that rap show? Was it T.I. back in the day?
Oh yeah. I forgot that. I don't know. I know. I remember Flava Flav had one, but I don't. Oh yeah, T.I. I remember he had a rap show at some point. There's been a couple. I know Mac Miller had one for a little bit.
Like one of those like American Idol type shows for rap. I think it was T.I. had one. Unless that was G's to Gents. That was another classic. That was the one with what's his name? Riff Raff on there.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure is.
That guy's a loony. All right, man. Snappi. So where can people go to find out about you? Where can they download your music and stuff?
I'm available on most streaming platforms. You can find me on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon Music, Tidal, you name it. If it's not there, let me know and I'll find a way to try to get it there. Message me directly. YouTube, they're all should be everywhere. You can find me Snappi, Snappi. You can also find me social medias. On Instagram, I'm Snappi865. Facebook should just be Snappi. It might be Snappi865. Yeah.
Nice. Everybody go check out Snappi. He's trying to make it in this difficult music world in a difficult time, but he's also bringing disc golf with him. So, I mean, what more can you ask for? Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed this unique edition of the Zen Disc Golf Podcast. I have so many great shows already coming up that you won't want to miss. I have a few MPO pros and FPO pros on the schedule, the CEO of a disc manufacturer, nonprofits, some of the leading disc photographers in the game. I also have more disc giveaways coming your way, so hit subscribe on whatever pod vending machine that you use. In the meantime, don't forget to check out zendiscgolf.com for books and apparel. I'm going to be leaving you with another track from Snappi called Gasoline. I hope you have a great rest of your week and weekend. I'll see you next time, and don't forget, keep on throwing.
Green reeks like gasoline, blunts thicker than molasses. Shit's dense, every hit got me thinking backwards, ready to close out this chapter. No backflips for a once was, continue gaining traction. In my city I got light buzz, but with a buzz I'll get to yapping. They said my talking was a problem, they said I was a distraction. But look at me now, ha 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 ha, embrace your passion. Birds on chirping, clouds on floating, clippers freshly bought so the roll keeps token. Squad sits and talks about goals and devotions, action is a potion, break me when I'm frozen. We got big dreams, picture changes the scenery, can't control the weather, raincoat the family, do it for the love, not for a handler's fee. I'm a damaged being, self-brought indeed, but through it all I see the capability of many. Green reeks like gasoline, blunts thicker than molasses. Green reeks like gasoline, blunts thicker than molasses. Green reeks like gasoline, blunts thicker than molasses. Shit's dense, every hit got me thinking backwards, ready to close out this chapter. No backflips for a once was, continue gaining traction. In my city I got light buzz, but with a buzz I'll get to yapping. They said my talking was a problem, they said I was a distraction. But look at me now, ha 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 ha, embrace your passion. Birds on chirping, clouds on floating, clippers freshly bought so the roll keeps token. Squad sits and talks about goals and devotions, action is a potion, break me when I'm frozen.